All right, hey guys, here we go. All right, hey everybody. Sam Ettaro coming to you live from my home studio in Charlotte, North Carolina. And wow, as the gremlins are at it today, we are. I've been trying so desperately. We tried bringing our special guest, featured guest, Mr. Ray Terry, into the show via our virtual studio, and for whatever reason couldn't get him in there that way. Multiple tries and multiple devices. We had no audio, no video. We tried bringing him into Zoom last second. Zoom is down at the moment. App was down. And we tried bringing him in via Meets, and I got his video. And for some reason, we are getting no audio. So you can see Ray there, but you can't hear him. So what an abject disaster. Anyway, I do have his colleagues with us, and Ray did say he's a great guy. And he said, these guys, well, and friends today. We were going to do Ray Terry and friends, and we were going to talk about put tools in schools. But these guys are collaborators with Ray, and they know what he's doing, and they are wonderful advocates for the trades education that Put Tools in Schools focuses on. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with the show. Let me go ahead and I'm going to turn off Ray's camera here. Just 1 second, because I had this scene set up for Ray and for David to join us. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring in our guests, and we're going to go ahead and do the show. We're going to talk with them about what is happening within the realm of Put Tools in Schools and the focus as educators, as workforce development specialists for helping young people within the Charlotte region really make informed career decisions. So I'm going to go ahead and activate our guests' audio and bring them in. Jeremy Johnson and David Richardson. Thanks, guys, so much, number one, for doing the show, and number two, for your patience with this just snowballing, cascading, technological disaster. Appreciate your patience. Thanks for coming on CharlotteNow.tv.
We appreciate you having us.
Thank you for your time.
Oh man, are you kidding me? I'm so sorry about the late start. I've been doing this for so long, and honest to gosh, I've never seen anything like this, where multiple platforms just are not working. So we'll have to work out the bugaboos with Ray and catch him another time. Jeremy, let's go ahead and start with you. I know you have an affiliation with Ray. Tell us about Jeremy Johnson and your affiliation with Ray's organization, not-for-profit organization, Put Tools in Schools.
Well, so my name is Jeremy Johnson. I work with a local contractor called Star Electric. And I heard about Put Tools in Schools one day, and I got hooked up with Ray. We have a in-house apprenticeship contest every year for our in-house apprentices at Star Electric. And Ray joined a couple years back. And we just started talking, and I liked the idea of what he was trying to do, and we just kept on talking, and you know, it went from there. And I think that first year, I forget how many of Put Tools in Schools events there were, but we went to probably 9 out of 11 of them, and they, you know, in my opinion, were a hit. And you know, the unique idea behind Put Tools in Schools, you know, really caught my attention, and it really catches the attention of a lot of other people. So it was definitely worth it. So the idea behind Put Tools in Schools is to create awareness for the trades. A lot of high school students, they don't understand a lot of their a lot of their options. And there's a lot of school events that happen, and most of the time these school events are just contractors. They show up, they have a table with goodies on it, candy, swag, giveaways, stuff like that. Well, Ray wanted to do a spin on it, and he came up with the idea of, hey, bring your tools, make sure it's safe, but let the kids interact with the tools. So we started doing that, and there's I noticed a huge difference. So I've been to a lot of events where it's just, like a career fair, like a high school senior career fair. You you sit at your table, you talk to students, tell them what you offer. But on the other hand, at these Put Tools in School events, there's so much more engagement. The students, they seem happier. They want to come to your table. They want to talk to you. They want to put their hands on the tools. They want to use the tools. And, by doing so, they see so many more options. There's always electrical at these events. There's plumbing at these events, masonry, welding. So there's a lot of contractors at these events. And these students, they walk around, and it's almost like they're running over each other to get to each table.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's great, man.
It's a great thing.
Very cool. And you are you we have in your title there, Workforce Development Coordinator. Is that your position at Star Electric?
Yeah, so it's essentially, so my official title is Corporate Outreach Coordinator. But what I do mainly is I do a lot of outreach to high schools, third-party programs, just like Ray's, that create that bridge from high school to trades. And I get involved with those programs, and do whatever I can to help students seek out trades jobs, create awareness for the trades, and hire those students ourselves. So
that's awesome. That is awesome. We're going to dig into that a little bit deeper. And for another perspective, gentleman here to your left, or if you're watching at home, on your right on the screen, Mr. David Richardson, who actually is in a position that I was in several years ago. I came out of industry within media, and I taught career and technical education for 13 years, and then went out of the public career and technical education system and started my own independent production company. David Richardson, tell us a little bit about you, your background, how you got into teaching career and technical education, and where you are now, and especially in regards to your affiliation with Put Tools in Schools. Appreciate you joining the show.
Hey, thank you again for this opportunity. Yeah, after high school, I went to Western Carolina, got a manufacturing engineering degree, worked for a company in Hickory for about 10 years, and due to some changes in the climate, they had a series of layoffs, and had a couple of people thought, well, you've got some experience in engineering and everything. Would you be interested in teaching technology? And I said, yeah, let's move into that. So I've done that now for about 22 years. And while Ray and those fellers are kind of on the outside, I'm kind of on the inside with being in the career in tech. But looking at how tools and how the trades allow our people to be successful in our communities, these same things allow our students to be successful in schools. And right now we have a lot of trouble with everybody being successful in school. We've got a big focus on everybody going to college. And I think while we focused on that, that's kind of created the skills gap. So my primary focus has been kind of on the opposite ends of that. Number one, getting career exposure into the school systems all the way back to elementary school, and then changing the model inside of our schools to where more hands-on activities, more trades are in our system, and less grades, if you will, and also how that's going to lead into our workforce. Okay, so one of the big things we've got going on now is workforce development. And I think that's such a big issue now is because our education system and policies has really quit focusing on student success and the success of our companies and our communities.
You said something interesting there. I'd like you to dig into a little bit deeper, and I think I know, based on my experience, where you're probably going to go with this. But what did you mean when you say "and less grades"?
Well, I'm not going to get into a lot of philosophy of it, but our school systems and our teachers and our students, they're not failures, but the way that we try to teach them is a failure. We focus on standardized tests. We focus on data, and our system is geared towards data, and it's not geared towards student success. And so we're looking at positive data, positive grades. And we don't really focus on the success of individual students. And unfortunately, I think by focusing on data and school system success, we've left our students and our communities behind, and we don't focus on their success anymore.
Interesting. Jeremy, would you concur with that sentiment? I know I do.
I 100% agree. So I've met a lot of students, and it's hard to explain, but so I'll just explain from my point of view, from my past. I didn't do good in school in the later years in high school. Matter of fact, I dropped out in 9th grade. School wasn't for me. I needed to build stuff. I wanted to fix stuff. I wanted hands-on stuff like that. And there's not a lot of schools nowadays that focus on the success of the student in those ways. So yeah, sure, we have electrical programs, carpentry programs, stuff like that. Charlotte-Mecklenburg is how big? There's over 20 high schools in Charlotte-Mecklenburg area. How many of those high schools have trades programs? Not many, if any. I don't think there's one electrical program in all of Charlotte-Mecklenburg. Mr. Richardson might know differently if I'm misspeaking, but I don't know of one. There's so many students that want to go into the trades, that want to go into the electrical trades, but they never get an opportunity. So there's actually 33 high schools in Charlotte. But like I said, I don't think there's one electrical program in all of Charlotte in the high schools. There might be a few automotive, maybe carpentry, but and I understand it's hard to get those programs in the schools, but we need to start trying, because if we don't, there's going to be, in 10 or 15 years, there's going to be over 1 million jobs unfilled in the trades. So I 100% agree with Mr. Richardson.
I find this fascinating. I've been I told you guys I taught career and technical education for 13 years, but not in North Carolina. I was up in a comprehensive career and technical center, which had 14 full-time programs as well as full-time academics. So I was kind of surprised. I moved to Charlotte a year and a half ago, and really as an advocate for CTE and these types of career pathways, I've been digging into this a lot and interviewing a lot of people on my show, passionate about the topic, and found out that there really is some kind of disconnect that's happening in Charlotte, or not just Charlotte, but North Carolina as a whole. There is a state CTE department. Why are we not seeing more a more robust presence of career and technical education programs? And I guess we could zoom that down to Charlotte-Mecklenburg County. What do you think the disconnect is? Any one of you guys, just jump on in.
Okay. Well, for me, our schools are funded locally, state, and federally, based off of what our state board of education looks at. And um, if we bring trades, if we bring hands-on things into our school system, then the educators think that that's going to, well, and it will reduce our seat time. So you're going to, instead of students getting instruction for the end of the year test, they're going to be getting hands-on instruction. And since we focus on data and school system data, we don't want to lose that seat time, instructional seat time for the end of the year test. That's more important because, again, our school systems, our administrators, and our teachers are judged on the data that we get from our system, rather than the success of our students. So, and we start early with that. We want to start in elementary school, kind of getting them ready. And it is kind of a conformity thing. We want to, we got a standardized test, and we need to have all students focused on that. And quite honestly, for me, by the time some of our students are in 4th and 5th and 6th grades, they've went through this model several years, and mentally they've already dropped out. They're just going through the paces, and it makes it very difficult for them to continue to grow and to learn in the system, and to really even be exposed to the trades later on, because they just don't think that the school model, the education policy, is going to be something that's going to make a difference in their lives, and they basically just tune us out until they get a chance to physically drop out.
Yeah, interesting point. They reach a point where they're burned out, they're bored, and they end up losing faith in that system. Hello?
Yeah.
Jeremy, you with me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, back to my original question, David. I appreciate your elaborating on that, Jeremy. From an industry standpoint, right? You're doing this full time. You're in. What are you seeing as the disconnect? And I'll throw this one at you then too. What more can be done on top of and expansive of what you guys are doing with Put Tools in Schools and your company program? My goodness, to have a private company that actually has somebody dedicated to doing the job of what should be the educator, right? For such an in-demand, high-paying career field, it's kind of staggering. Seems like we kind of got it backwards, right?
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that can happen moving forward is industry stepping up. So, these Put Tools in Schools events and all these events that I go to in high schools, some of these events, there's only 2 or 3 contractors. There's only 2 or, we're electrical. So there's an electrical there, maybe an automotive, maybe a carpentry, maybe a welding. But you hear all the time about how the industry is crying, is yelling because we need people. But not a lot of those contractors are stepping up. So most importantly, we need industry to step up. We need these contractors, these companies, to make that leap and try to get involved more with local high schools. I think that's the biggest part. And some of it is the high school. Now, I hear a lot of different things about high schools and the red tape and the restrictions and this and that. There's got to be some way to open up more programs in schools. So let's take, for example, let's talk about Roseville High. Even though it's not Charlotte-Mecklenburg, Roseville is in Wake County. Roseville High has an outstanding electrical program. I've talked to tons of students there that want to get into the program, but they can't. And I've talked to some people that are in the program and they don't want to be in the program. And when they reach out to their counselors or whoever it may be, schedulers, whoever it may be, it's too late. School's already in session. They can't make the changes. And for me, I don't see it from the inside or from their perspective. But for me, it's just a simple, switch. I know there's more to it than that, but you have tons of students that want to get in these programs. You have some students that are not wanting to be in these programs, but they're both stuck where they are, and that's it. So there needs to be a little bit more.
What do you mean they want to be in the program and they can't? What would be preventing a student from selecting an educational / career pathway, something that they are impassioned about, something that they actually enjoy? What would be preventing them from engaging in that program?
I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming it has something to do with scheduling and trying to switch a student either mid-semester or mid-class or however long that process takes. Or however long that process takes.
Hey, let me stop you. I don't know what happened. The technology gods are smiling on us today. Mr. Ray Terry, actually, I was playing around off camera here, and I managed to get audio from him in Teams. I'm going to stop you, and I think I can bring him into the show. Ray, let me hear you. You with us?
Bring him on.
I'm right here. Yeah, I'm here.
There
Can you hear me?
He is. Yeah, we got him. That is awesome. Technology is just incredible. All right, gents, let me go ahead. Hold on, Ray. You there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Listen, what I'm going to do, since we missed you, I have to reset some scenes here to bring you into the show through a second system in my studio. Take me about 30 seconds to a minute. So what I want to do, I'm going to put you on full screen, and I would just like for you to share a little bit about yourself and the Put Tools in Schools initiative. How did you and when did you see the need for this program, launch it, and where are you right now? And I'm going to bring all of us back into the show. Okay, you ready? And you got the floor,
Sure.
sir.
Okay, I born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. Been in the construction industry since I walked out of Garinger High School, graduated in 1970. I'm going to try to condense this because I'm not real good at making things short, so I'm going to do my best, okay? So I was one of those ADHD kids. I built my first tree house when I was 11 or 12 years old. Put electricity in that tree house, 3 rooms and a roof on it. That's what kind of kid I was. I rebuilt my first lawnmower when I was 12, tore it apart, put it back together. That's what kind of kid I was. Never happy unless I was building something, creating something along those lines. Okay. So, and that's what I was. In construction, I was very fortunate. I got into multifamily construction when I was 18, worked my way up to superintendent by the time I was 22. I've just loved construction, loved working with my hands and creativity. Now, why? I can't really condense this much shorter other than I became the president of a NARI chapter here in Charlotte, NARI of Greater Charlotte. I was the original chapter president. As a result of that, I really got involved in the industry. Was asked to be on the advisory board at CPCC's Institute of Construction Technology, and I accepted, and I was there on that board for about 18 years. But in 2018, something happened. Took long enough. Well, I was at a meeting, and 2.5 hour meeting, and I think I'm still on. I don't know if my audience.
Yeah, we got you, man. We got you.
Okay, good. And I walked out of that meeting. I just sat 2.5 hours listening to a bunch of educators talk about what has been and what is. Not a darn bit about what we're going to do about it. And I stood at the door, and, I make a lot of people angry with my truth, and I'm sorry, but I have to be honest and truthful. I have to be. The way God made me. I'm sorry. I don't apologize for it. I just tell you it bugs people. At any rate, I looked at them all and said, "You become a bunch of overeducated idiots." And I walked out, and I ain't been back. Because all they did was, this stuff. All they did, all they ever do is this. So I started an awareness campaign called Put Tools in School. And that's all it was Put Tools in School, an awareness campaign. And the one statement, the one question or statement I've heard more than anything else since all this started, "You mean they don't have shop in schools?" No, they disappeared in the 70s. Where you been? And, it's just a catastrophe and all I can speak about is Charlotte-Mecklenburg and what I know, because I was born and raised here, went to the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system, and I was involved in taking some of the carpentry tools out of schools, like Geringer. I was there the day we took the table saw out of the shop. Sad state of affairs. We're not here. Bottom line, it bothers me enormously that they're taking creativity out of schools. These kids are not happy. I talk to them. I've talked to hundreds, if not thousands of kids at these events. They're not happy. They don't even know what happiness is. Hey, I got 40, 35 parents walking around don't know what happiness is because we've taken hands-on, critical thinking, constructive, imaginative thinking out of our education system. And they keep trying to take more and more and more. And it bothers me enormously because God put us on this planet with two hands and a genius mind. We can accomplish anything we want to. But there's so much fear in these kids, they're afraid to attempt anything anymore. Because we've taken their courage away. Now, I know this is dreadful to say. It is. It has actually made some people mad at me. You're talking about teachers. I love teachers. But I'm sure Sam, as a teacher, David, as a teacher, you both can attest to one thing. You can't do your job the way you really wanted to do it because the system will not let you.
Well, let me clarify, I think, your statement there a little bit. It was difficult not only to do the job the way that we want to do it, but the way it was truly necessary to actually prepare the students for the real world in the industry that we were being paid to train them toward, right?
Right.
It's the fundamental skills that were necessary. A lot of times we weren't able to address. It's like fighting a war with your hands tied,
About 80% of the kids that I've talked to, and Jeremy can attest, and I'm sure David can too, they can't read a tape measure. Can't even read a tape measure. And it goes on. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand. 3rd grade math is what a tape measure is all about. But, you got, I don't know. I don't understand it. However, Put Tools in Schools. The whole idea, Jeremy explained it very well. It's about hands-on engagement with kids. But if industry does not step up, and they, like Jeremy stated as well, they'll cry and we need help. And then not only that, when they get help, they complain. They complain the help isn't of quality, won't show up and all that. Well, how are we going to change it? I've been a problem solver my whole career. That's what construction is, and remodeling, especially remodeling. I've been a problem solver, a fixer. I want to fix everything. That's just my nature. And
I'm fixing this broadcast on the fly. You guys are
hey, you're doing it, brother. You're a true professional. That's what we do.
Troubleshooting, man.
We
That's
make it work.
That's it. And let me
So,
say, and we'll bring the other guests back in here, Ray. I appreciate that background. We talk about and we're joking about these skills, but these are not just industry specific skills. These are life skills. Well, right? I mean, I think that's a big part, a big component that is missing in our education system, and has been, because as David pointed out, and the focus has been for a very long time on those standardized tests. Look, here's the PowerPoint, here's the authorized textbook. Now see how much of that information you can regurgitate back on a test, and then we will deem you proficient. But even at that, how does a student get through 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grade and still not know the fundamentals of measurement or estimating, right? Or writing a coherent sentence? How did they get to that point anyway? Do we have? Is there such a thing here in such a phenomenon in North Carolina as a just sort of a social promotion, where we don't hold students back anymore and hold them accountable for achieving, let's say, in the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic?
Is a way for us to generate positive data. So we need graduation rates to increase. We need discipline values or numbers to decrease. And the way you get this data is you socially promote kids on up through the system, and then you also want to have positive data when it comes to discipline and things like that. So in some cases, you reduce your discipline standards so that you get that positive data. And again, that's what the system needs. We need data. We need that data to be positive. And if we have to change some thresholds to get that to occur, that's what we'll do. But we need to have positive data, and we come up with gimmicks and sometimes to overcome that. But
Right.
there is such a thing as social promotion.
And gimmicks such as just blatantly just lowering the bar over and over and over and over. And we've seen that. And I believe, I would argue that we're seeing the ramifications of that in our society now. And I would like to go to Jeremy. Let's talk about how long have you been in your industry?
24 years.
Wow. Okay. So you have to have seen that lowering of the bar, the lowering of those standards, whether they're soft skills or academic skills or technical, whatever the case may be, that we've seen that bar getting lower and lower and lower. What has the impact been to you all in your industry and your specific company? If you could speak to that, appreciate it.
Well, we've learned that there's a lot more training that we have to do. So students now coming into the trade, it used to be they could read a tape measure. They knew what eighths, 32nds, 64s, halves, all that stuff were. They don't know that anymore. They don't know how to read a tape measure. And there's a lot of other stuff that they just don't know. They don't know anything about how to do their taxes when they're filling out their employment paperwork. I used to directly hire, and I've directly hired quite a few people, and a lot of those younger people, I'd have to walk them through how to fill out taxes, what their insurance benefits were, what a 401k is, and the one thing that really bothered me was I had to explain an apprenticeship program to a lot of these students, and that they don't know what apprenticeship programs are. They don't know the soft skills, the interviewing. They go into an interview and they most of the time they just sit there and they stare at you. And I ask them questions and just try to find out a little bit about them, and it's a one or two word answer, and then they stop and then they just stare at you. And it's I think the social aspect of younger people has moved from in person to actually what we're doing right now. Although in this case, it's it makes sense, but they don't learn social skills anymore. They don't learn, let's just say home economics. They don't know how to cook. They don't know how to sew. I still know how to sew. I learned home economics when I was in, I think, 6th or 7th grade. I still know how to sew. I know how to cook. I know how to do taxes.
I remember,
I know how to,
dude, Mrs. Grahola taught me how to iron. I remember. It's true. David, is it from within the system here as a teacher, are you seeing what Jeremy's talking about? I mean, is it just a lack of those programs? Are they actually being addressed within the school system? And the kids just aren't getting it? What are you seeing in terms of that type of training or being offered and just not taken up within the public school system?
Yeah, and exactly what Jeremy said, and Ray and I have talked to this many times. Again, we're not focusing on student success in education anymore. To a larger degree, I think we want dependency. I think we, as a society, want a dependent person, somebody that doesn't know finances. Somebody that can't cook for themselves. They can't think for themselves. We want relationships rather than relevancy. So we want people to, and like I think. Ray said at one time, it's kind of like a victim creation center. We want people that depend on somebody else to help them out, to tell them what to think, to tell them how to feel better about themselves. Our system has gotten away from creating successful people that's going to be contributors to our community and society to people that's going to need our communities and societies to look after them and to help them.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Hey, Ray, you were trying to chime in there, and your audio was
I'm sorry.
A little bit garbled. And no, it's okay. It was just coming in as a little underwater. Let's go ahead back to the panel here. You had something you wanted to add to that point?
Yeah, what we're teaching our kids to be is codependent. They've taken all our imagination away from them. Now, I'm not saying all kids, because that seems to get me in trouble a lot when I say, but the vast majority, like I said, once again, we're all born geniuses. Every one of our kids. And if you go into a kindergarten class, you see all these beautiful Legos, Tinker Toys, all these things they can build and create with. Then you go into first grade, they're gone. It's gone. Imagination, creativity, critical thinking, out the window. And that's not good for life, because we were built as animals. Put on this, we were put on this earth naked, no clothes, 2 hands and mind to help create. And if you ask, and I have done this in the past year, like if I ask David, when are you happy? Jeremy, when are you happy? And if you ask me, when I'm fixing, making, and creating and serving, we're all built to serve and have purpose. We're not giving our kids the menu of purpose. We're not giving them an opportunity to see what's really available in life that they can use their hands and mind to create with. Just like Jeremy in high school, some kids don't like school. I love school for the social atmosphere, because I love to talk to my friends. And it was fun, and I could make C's and D's or whatever I needed to make. I floated through school. It was okay. I didn't let it get to me, because I knew once I got out of high school, I was on the pathway to working with my hands and my mind, and I hadn't stopped. Never done me wrong. And it'll never do any child wrong as long as he's what? As long as he's happy and purposeful. And if we get to that point, we got it.
That's awesome.
I think students are being they're being taught the wrong idea of success. So, many kids, you ask them, what's your idea of success? And 9 out of 10, I want to be rich. I'm going to be, doctor, lawyer. I'm going to be rich. I want as much money as I could possibly get. And I think that's the problem. They're not taught that success comes in many different ways. So success for yourself can be, having a family, having a house, having a nice house, having a nice car. But having a lot of money, I don't consider that success. I'm extremely happy in my life with what I do. My idea of success is how many people can I help become successful in their ideas? How many opportunities can I create, or how many opportunities can I pass out, or, something like that. I think nowadays it's just success is, being on the list of the 100 most richest people in the world. That's the idea of success today.
Well, I would even
wrong.
say, and this was something I struggled with, because my certification when I was teaching was web, multimedia, and information resource design. So here I was going, okay, I'm in the belly of the beast, actually somehow or another propagating that problem and teaching the kids to use these very technologies that then they become addicted to and end up, living their life based on how many subscribers and likes that they have too. It's such a faux existence. And, I struggled with that. It's one of the reasons why I got out, and started right here, my new not-for-profit. It's about teaching the responsible use of social media technologies. So, not to turn the conversation that way, but I think you're hitting on some very, very astute points. I appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys coming on today and sharing your insights. Ray, you got something that you want to add to that?
Oh, bunches, but I'll just hold it off.
No, please do.
Okay.
Go ahead.
First of all, the past 6 months has been a growing period for Put Tools in Schools. I have to bring everybody up to date. I feel like it's necessary. And I'm going to be honest, here in Charlotte-Mecklenburg, they don't like Ray Terry, and they've kind of taken it back to me, and Put Tools in Schools. And I'm sorry, because this is about the students. And everything I've just told you, I've shared publicly. And as you well know, I do a weekly radio show called About Your House on Fox Sports Charlotte. And it's the voice of Put Tools in Schools. You can tune in every Saturday. I'll bring you up to date. But this year we've only been in 4 high schools. It's been kind of low, but that's okay, because we've restructured, got a board of directors, got things going good, got our website redone. Now you can donate to us. We need money. We're setting up what we call the toolbox in North Charlotte to be a connector of working labs where students can come in here and get a taste of electrical, get a taste of various things. And, the website's got a few more tweaks here and there. I see a few things wrong with it.
You got a lot of partners there too. This is fabulous.
But it's all good. But we're doing good. We're on the right path. But here again, I don't care how many high schools we get into. If we don't have the support of industry, we can't do anything. We will do the legwork. We will hit the ground. We will be boots on the ground getting into schools. And we're reaching out next year to go into 7 counties around Charlotte-Mecklenburg. In the 7 counties around Charlotte-Mecklenburg, we're going to go into those schools. And, how industry, those tabs right there, you're on right there, Sam,
yeah.
Or how you as an industry partner can help, community partner can help, as well as educators. If you want an event at your school, just reach out to us. It's right there on the interweb there. just reach out to us. We want to help. This is about our kids. This is about our future. It's about our future.
So talk to us. I mean, I'm going to pull up some pictures here because I was just going to ask you, what does a Put Tools in Schools program look like? So I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Talk to us a little bit about the structure. What are the requirements for a partner organization?
I believe in the old KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. If I send out 300 emails to 300 different industry partners or companies, well, you'd think I would get at least anywhere from 7 to 15 companies show up at one of these events, as you see in that picture right there. We interact. They sweat copper fittings with the kids. They love it. McGee Brothers comes out and they lay brick. We've got electrical circuitry being exposed and interactive with the kids. There's carpentry. There's solar technology. There's a lot of different small interactive elements to give the kids an idea of what's possible. It's not a tremendous deal. It's not a lot of trouble for these companies. But if we don't engage them, we're not going to get them because they're used to talking heads every day. And it seems to be working. I know Jeremy can attest to some positive results from it. And from other vendors, stats. We've been in 28 high schools to date since 2018. 28 high schools.
28 just this year? Did you say?
No, since
2018.
Yeah. So we've been in 28 high schools, 28 trades career days.
Wow.
And now I know probably collectively 20 to 30 kids have gotten jobs as a direct result of these trades career days. Wow. And I know Jeremy's got some candidates from it, and CETI, the Carolinas Electrical Training Institute's gotten a lot of calls about it. So it is working, and we need to do more of it. But frankly speaking, Charlotte-Mecklenburg is a cash cow for college. That's just the raw facts. I've been in 28 high schools. I've not been in South Mecklenburg in one event. And there's a reason for it. And I'll stop with that. That's all I can say.
Interesting. And, I would do this. I've been.
Well, you're going to get an opportunity, Sam, because where I'm sitting right now in the toolbox is a podcast studio. And we're going to develop this toolbox over here to where we'll do projects out in the warehouse area in the workshop. And we'll be able to video this and transfer that knowledge and insight and resources to listeners and viewers. So we're going to use it. We're going to let the kids use this podcast studio. But I need people like you to get involved, step up, and make all this what it can be. So, hey, the opportunity's out there.
Absolutely. For what I do, it's all about empowerment. I did our first outreach actually over at the Sugar Creek Rec Center. When was it? 2 nights ago. And
how'd that go?
It went well. It didn't get a lot of people. We had, I think, about 3 kids and some of their families. So overall, maybe nine or so folks. But the presentation went very well. It was very well received. I brought my entire mobile studio in there and broadcast an episode of my career exploration TV show live, and had my virtual guests were being piped in like I have with you guys. I have friends of mine from around the country that were coming in and giving advice to the kids in real time up on the big screen TVs behind me. And then I was broadcasting on the other TVs the actual broadcast system that I use. So they were watching me produce the show in live time. It was very, very, very cool. And we left it with that. Look, these are young people with their whole lives ahead of them, and these technologies are incredibly powerful and can and do and have changed the world. Some of the biggest media platforms right now are independent podcasters. You look at people, I don't care what you think of them, but you look at somebody like a Joe Rogan or the guys over at the Daily Wire or the other side of the aisle, Young Turks, cats like this, right? They're independent folks that are doing their thing, speaking what it is that they want to put out to the world. And they got bigger audiences than CNN. I mean, it
Sky's
is
the limit in media.
astonishing.
In media, it's just wide open. A young lady came into the studio last Saturday morning, and she didn't know I was. You know me, Sam. If you're in the studio, you're gonna get on the mic, especially if you're a student. And I told her, I said, you're going to be on the mic today. She said, I didn't know that. I said, well, you want to be in broadcasting? That's part of it. You might as well start now. Like old Jeremy there. Jeremy didn't do public speaking. One day I says, come on, we're going to do a video. He said, whoa, what are we going to talk about? What do you do? Come on, let's go talk about it. And we did it. And now he can speak to anybody, can't you, Jeremy?
That is so
Yes.
awesome. Well, let's just go around the horn here real quick. I know we're all busy, and we did get a little bit of a late start, and I apologize about these technical issues. Somehow or another, everything worked out. Now we're back in with the team. I want y'all to kind of give us a look ahead here as to what is coming up immediately, perhaps. What do you need as an organization? What do you want to see happen here locally and within the organization as well? Like you had mentioned, you got a board now. Where are y'all at with Put Tools in Schools? And then we'll just go across the board here with Jeremy, with your outreach efforts at Star Electric. And David, what do you got going on there with what it is that you teach? And any specific initiatives or big days that are coming up that we can let the public know about? Go ahead. Ray, let's start with you and talk.
Well, I'll start it with what's on the calendar right now. We're going to be in Queens Grant High School, the 24th of April, I believe. And then we're going to do another one in May at Rocky River High School. And that's all we have on the calendar now, which is a little disappointing, but that doesn't hold us up. We're going to get into some community organizations over the summer and see if we can get more community involvement and then start an outreach for next year. One thing about schools, though, and I certainly can't blame them, when summertime hits, these teachers are on vacation. Rightfully so, and I honor that tremendously. Yeah. But it is slow, and once they're out of school, you're not going to get much done. Yeah. And that's okay. But we're going to do some outreach and to different counties around us, and hopefully next year get off to a great start. However, what we need now is donations, support, and industry. We need to develop a database of companies that can recognize, participate, and be a part of this effort. Okay.
Yeah, let's call it a movement. That's what it is.
Yeah. So that's it. And more than anything, money, because we've got great plans, and we're going to share those plans publicly. And we're growing just like anything, grow organically. We've got an all-volunteer board, and they're doing a great job. I'm in such gratitude for all the help that's been bestowed to me and this organization, because it's great. The help's been phenomenal, and I'm grateful for that. Thanks to each and every one of the board members.
Outstanding. Jeremy, what do you guys got going on? Where are we at?
Well, there's a lot going on. So for me, myself, Star gives me a lot of autonomy, and I with as many career fairs, high school events as I possibly can, and it's working. It could work more. We'd love to see more high schools step up. Just me alone in the last, I'd say 2 years, I've been in over 60 high schools, community colleges, tech centers, stuff like that. I want to get in more. And that's talking to students, classes, CTE teachers, directors, stuff like that. So we're looking to do more of that. There's a lot of cool events coming up. So one of the things that really bothered me, and that goes along with Put Tools in Schools and creating awareness. And so every year there's a national, there's a state competition, and then there's a national competition for Skills USA. Mm-hmm. Right? You know about Skills USA?
Oh, absolutely. I put kids in
Okay.
skills every year for web design and
Okay.
videography down in our state capital, Harrisburg, was where they had the states and generally, and then they would do regional competitions within. We hosted. We had host at our career and tech centers sometimes when it was rotating around. I'm very familiar with skills. Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm the chairman for the electrical competition in North Carolina. This year, there is a total of 18 students competing in the electrical competition.
Now,
18.
is that for the skills regional or the state?
The state.
Okay.
18.
To the whole state?
That number should be double, triple that.
Oh,
There's
easy.
18 high school students. So total there's 33. So 18 high school, but there's 15 post-secondary. So, community college programs, stuff like that. But as far as high school goes, there's only 18 students competing.
Wow.
And I'll bet you,
Depressing.
excuse me,
Depressing.
if I might interject here,
Go ahead.
Mecklenburg County probably has less than 20 kids. In Mecklenburg County, students, 140,000 plus. 140,000 students are in Charlotte-Mecklenburg. 17 private schools in Charlotte, okay? And there's less than 20 students from Charlotte-Mecklenburg in Skills USA competition in Greensboro next month. And that's probably as many as they ever had.
Less than
It is
20
growing
out of
from-
this entire huge county?
Oh, I've got to share one more thing with you, and Jeremy will understand, and I apologize for adding this. but
No,
it
that's
needs to
okay.
be said. In
Bring it
Wake
on.
County last week, they had a shed competition. Wake County is the largest school system in North Carolina. It used to be Charlotte-Meck, but no longer. Wake County took it over. Big deal. It's only by a couple thousand. Doesn't matter. Matters not. But last week they had what they call a shed building competition. 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Michelle Luter with Connect for Success NC does an incredible job at putting this competition together. 10 high schools, 6 students from each high school are competing in this shed building competition. And then Michelle gets industry involved from a materials point of view, donating materials, donating all the resources needed. She gets permitting involved, building standards department to come out and inspect. OSHA's involved. OSHA comes out. A lot of involvement from industry and she pulled that off last week, and she'll be on the program in the morning at 10 o'clock talking about it out of Apex. And total success. And every shed was sold by the end of the day. Sold. What a success. 6 students from each high school. They all have to be OSHA 10 certified. That whole concept right there is so remotely impossible in this county here, it's unreal. And I hate saying that, but she wants to bring it to Charlotte. I would love to see something like that in Charlotte. But industry has to step up. 6 students from each high school, and they turn students away every year. And there's a vote competition that Jeremy knows about, the electrical. They have and there again, Star's a big supporter in that program. But we don't have that in Charlotte-Mecklenburg. So we're like a different little island here. Now, I'm not proud of that, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm jumping down somebody's throat. It just, something needs to change for our kids. And that's really evident right there. Wake County, Mecklenburg County, totally different, totally.
I would put this out there. I've been involved in talk radio and independent broadcasting and doing political stuff, and I've been there, done that all the way across the spectrum for many, 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 many years. And one of the things I always try to say to folks is, look, if you're disagreeing with what is being said here and or agreeing with what is being said here, and you would like to come to the table and have an educated, rational discussion about solutions to these very real concerns and problems, then come on, there's the website on the screen, charlottenow.tv. Let's have a discussion about these topics. Let's see what we can do to consistently move our society forward. And really, it's all about the kids, as we say, so doors wide open. Anybody out there is agreeing, disagreeing? Hey, let's have a discussion, a vibrant discussion, and put some real viable solutions on the table. David, from your standpoint as a career and technical education teacher, what do you got going on, man?
We've got our big yearly career day will be Wednesday, April the 10th. I usually have 25 or so employers come in from Lincoln County, and manufacturers, healthcare, construction, fire rescue, county services, and all the students at school get to go through and talk to these folks and get some career exposure. So that's happening for us next
awesome.
month. And then also it's push for career exposure to start in our elementary schools and hands-on projects in our elementary schools.
That's great.
Hopefully we get models, education models and pathways to where when students are 16, maybe 16 and a half, they leave the school and they move into apprenticeship programs, possibly with Jeremy, and they've got a lot of training already conducted in our school systems. We've got kids sitting in classes bored out of their gourds when we could be teaching skills. And these folks, these young Americans at 16 or 16 and a half, they could go into an apprenticeship program and instantly to that company. The work development problem that we have today comes from our failure at the education level. And now we have companies like Star having to pick up the education portion of the success of these future Americans. Okay, we've got to get back to where our education system creates these successful people that are going to be in our communities and will be in our businesses. So there's where we need, and that takes legislation as well, but we get our models in place to where we are creating successful students, and those people build successful communities and companies.
That's awesome. Well said. Bravo, gentlemen. Bravo. I'm so glad I met you all, and all the great people that I've been able to partner with here within Charlotte-Mecklenburg County area and even beyond. I'm so grateful and honored to be a part of the movement, and let's just keep moving forward, guys. I really appreciate you coming on CharlotteNow.tv, and tell people. I mean, just like what you guys are doing, right? We're doing this project, and it's not going to do anybody any good if nobody sees it, right? So we're asking you out there, share, like, subscribe, all that crazy stuff that all the YouTubers and the Facebook Livers and everybody else says. But it does matter. When you like and you push out a video, it endorses what it is that we're doing. And don't just share, tell people, hey, you got to watch this. Check this out. Because we're really doing good work here, and we're struggling to get the word out as well. And we need your support too. And that's the best thing that you can do if you want to support us. I'm going to get into my show out here and give you some ways that you can do that. Mr. Ray Terry, Jeremy Johnson, and David Richardson, I want to thank you guys so much. God bless you for what you are doing for our community. You can get hold of everybody at puttoolsinschools.org, and Ray will go ahead and connect you with our various guests if indeed you want to get hold of them. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for what you're doing. You have a blessed holiday weekend.
Can I remind everybody about your house, Sam?
Oh, yeah, please do. Absolutely.
About Your House every Saturday morning from 8 to 11 on Fox Sports Charlotte. I would download the free app. You can hear us anywhere, stream it live. And I really thank you, Sam. I want to personally thank you for having us on today. And hopefully we can do another show in maybe 6-8 months and bring us up to date.
And hey, anytime. I mean, I'm down for this. I live for this stuff. This is what I do. And now that I've got my mobile system raging, I want to do more and more out in the community. I would love to do a live version of this somewhere out in the community, PA system. I mean, the full show, a live TV show, and engage with people live right there on the spot. So any opportunities to do that, just hit me up, let me know. And Ray, I would say too, I wanted to thank you for having me on your show. I had an absolute blast. I'm like, when you first told me it was only going to be me and we got 3 hours to fill, I'm thinking, oh my God, how are we going to, but man, it flew by. We had no problem. It was a good time.
Quickest 3 hours of my week. Goes by in a heartbeat.
All right, gentlemen, Jeremy, David, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Later. Have a great
All right, and there we have it. Another episode of CharlotteNow.tv in the digital bag, as I like to say, from my really cool, chill home studio in the beautiful Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. My name is Sam Ettaro. I'm going to share with you real quick, if you don't mind, some ways that you can support what it is that we are doing here. Of course, we want you to go to our website and you can see my remote shows that were streamed. You can fill out an application for somebody, make a suggestion for a guest or a topic. Of course, connect with us on Facebook and YouTube. Contact us in general and watch my previous shows that I've done since I've moved here to Charlotte a year and a half ago. You can subscribe to the website, and that gives us a little bit of a revenue funding, a little bit of revenue to go on here, because all of this, man, it costs money. I mean, this stuff is expensive. And as they say, time is money. I mean, I am a digital media producer by trade professionally, but when I'm donating all my time and energy and doing these outreach efforts for the benefit of the community, that's time away from building my own business and, of course, supporting my family. So I would ask if you would consider donating to CharlotteNow.tv. Another great way that you can support what is we're doing here is go to Red Sea Media. If you are interested in these types of technologies, maybe you need a new website, maybe you need a local marketing video done for your business, maybe you want to do TikTok production, maybe you want to do your own professional podcast. You can see a lot of the works that I have produced over the past years at redsea.media. And, you're hiring me as a producer for the benefit of your business really does. It helps to, pay for all this gear and the internet bandwidth and all the websites and everything that we're doing. One other opportunity I want you to be aware of is Scion Media. We recently started our own not-for-profit organization, which is focused on vocational and life skills training. We are, as of January, we are now officially a 501c3 charitable organization under the umbrella of arts, culture, and humanities charities. And what we do is we support not-for-profits with digital media services by supporting creatives that work for the not-for-profits. And we hold regularly outreach efforts. We have online outreach TV shows and educational opportunities for people to engage with their community. So it's a pretty simple model. If you come on as an apprentice at Scion Media, we teach you the lane of digital media production that you might enjoy while partnering with you. Like, for instance, if Ray needs a marketing video for Put Tools in Schools, you can learn the art of the video production while serving that not-for-profit. We got another not-for-profit that needs a webmaster to help them regularly update their website. You can learn web design while partnering with that organization and serving there. So if you want to sign up, learn more, maybe you are a not-for-profit that you would like to partner with us and become a mission partner, go to sign up and learn more about our program. Fill out the application, learn more about our other partnering organizations. And if you are a digital creator and would like to learn more about the digital media arts training opportunities, you can even sign up for a free 30-minute info session right here. And if you're not ready to sign up, I will meet you and we will tell you what we got going on and open up the doors of opportunity for you. So that's it for today. My name is Sam Ettaro, coming to you from Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina. This has been my show, Community Connections, on charlottenow.tv. Y'all have a blessed and amazing Easter weekend. I'm Ettaro, and I'm out.